Thank you for joining us tonight in our second edition of our Tantrum Talks of 2020. And we are so thankful to our sponsor, Burnt Island Games. We'll talk about them a little bit later in our episode. But I'm Kevin Delp.
I'm Melissa Delp. I'm Sarah Meadows.
I'm Ryan Pills.
I'm Katie Pills.
And I'm Will Meadows, hiding in the back here.
We totally
just skipped over Will. So every month we do our Tantrum Talks and we talk about something that we want to talk about. So tonight we are talking about our most anticipated board games, and we're going to roll into our intro. We're just going to...
I think we could probably do that.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to roll into our intro, but we're going to do that in just a second. But we're going to talk about our most anticipated board games that we are looking forward to in 2020.
2020, yeah.
Just kidding. Not rolling into that intro. Oh, wait. It did play.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
To this camera.
To this camera right here. He keeps changing it on me, so it is secret. I'm just looking for that red dot. Anyway, we are talking about our most anticipated board games. We each picked a few of the hundreds that are out there. Some picked more than a few. But once again, we are very thankful for our sponsor, Burnt Island Games. Their game, In the Hall of Mountain King, is already out. You can, backers are already getting it. It probably should be in retail soon. I think Will and Sarah are working on a video.
A video that should be out this next week.
Sweet. So look forward to In the Hall of the Mountain King review video to learn more about that. But let's get started on some of the games that we're excited about. Why don't we start with Katie?
Okay. So, I'm going to try to say this, and Sarah's probably going to have to help me out. Mariposas? Oh,
Got it.
Said it right. It is a game that is by the person who made Wingspan.
Elizabeth Hargrave?
Yes, Elizabeth Hargraves. And I'm excited about it because, well, she had such success with Wingspan. I'm excited to see what the next game's like. I don't know that there's going to be like a ton of the same style things, but it's about collecting butterflies. So I anticipate beautiful art and fun gameplay with this one.
So is a Mariposa a type of butterfly? Or?
It's
the
Spanish word for butterfly.
For a butterfly.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
It's not Papillon.
No, that's
They
French.
French
They
for
don't use the same
butterfly.
word?
No. But I believe, well, number one, this is coming from a different...
Yeah,
This is coming from a different...
All-Direct Entertainment.
Different publisher, All-Direct, AEG. And it's about butterflies, how they move, because they have a lot of... just like birds
Migration.
This is about butterfly migration, although
Yes.
Wingspan wasn't about migration. So.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But
Wait for the expansion.
they both fly. They're both interesting. They're both pretty. Anyway,
Colorful, lots of things.
Yeah. So
All the
anyway.
important board game requirements.
So
But,
we've got some people saying hey. Before we move on to Ryan, we've got Aaron, Jason, another Jason. We've got Tim in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let us know what board games you are interested in that are coming that are coming out in 2020, and we'll talk about those as well on tonight's show. So Ryan, what's on your list?
Yeah, so I backed the Thunderstone Quest New Horizons Kickstarter, and I am psyched that that's going to possibly deliver. There's some hold up with the coronavirus. They sent all the Chinese factory workers home for the New Year,
Right.
and the Chinese government was like, stay home. So until they're allowed to go back to work, we're not getting our games. But stay safe, stay
That's
healthy.
right. We do want them to be healthy.
This one has 2 new quests.
Okay.
I think it's Vengeful Sands, Clockwork Destiny, and new to Thunderstone Quest 4th level heroes. I'm excited to see how those
Did you
work
just
out.
pick this one because Katie talked about an AEG game, so you thought I should talk about an AEG
Oh yeah,
game?
sure.
You don't know
I'm
the history
I'm
of
super
Thunderstone
invested
and
in
Ryan.
Thunderstone Quest.
Goes back to our
Yeah.
beginning days of
Yeah,
being
that was
together.
when Ryan and I got married. That was one of the games he
Yeah, it
already
was
had.
Thunderstone Advance at that point.
Yeah.
The
Right.
2nd edition.
I remember that.
So Aaron has already mentioned a game that I think we're going to talk about a little bit later. The new Villainous Marvel that was just announced. Is that on your list, Ryan?
It is.
All right, we'll talk
I
about
think it's
that,
on
Aaron.
everybody's list.
I mean, we could just talk about it right now.
All right, we'll talk about it now.
Who wants to talk about it?
If you're already familiar with Villainous, I'm looking at that camera now because there's no red dot on that one.
There you go.
Good job.
I know. I'm working on
He can
this.
learn.
I am learning. If you're familiar with Villainous, from Ravensburger with the Disney villains, Melissa and I just did a...
Evil. He's
She's switching back and forth.
switching back and forth.
Poor Kevin.
Anyway, it was just announced that Ravensburger is bringing one that is for Marvel, and who has done the most research on this one?
I
just
mean,
looked at the pictures.
I've been enjoying all the comments on Facebook.
So number one, as we get into this, the Marvel Villainous cannot be mixed with the Disney Villainous because of the new way they are doing the game, because it's instead of everyone having their own fate deck, there's going to be a common fate deck for Marvel.
Oh.
And there's going to be event cards.
Right. So I don't even know if you can like jerry rig it to mix
Well, you
them.
can always
It sounds
do
like
that.
you
Her
could
kids can do anything.
Oh yeah, my kids put together
yeah.
Thanos Rising and Marvel Codenames and made a whole new game.
It's-
You could do whatever you can imagine.
It sounds like
Kevin.
you couldn't do Marvel to Disney, but I bet you could do an adaptation of Disney to Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll find out when we get it and play it. so anything? What kind of? What are the villains that are going to be in this one?
Thanos is
Yeah,
on the cover.
Thanos is on the cover.
That's the only one I know.
I think they've released maybe 4 of the 6
Mhm.
currently, but I don't remember.
I think
which ones those are.
Ultron and the Goddess of Death,
Yes.
whatever her name is.
Hela.
Yeah, Hela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thor's sister. Whatever.
We've got Chris joining us. We've got 25th Century Games, which is probably Chad. Chad,
Chad.
welcome. We are waiting for Fiends and Familiar. So that's from Cartographers, I think. So or from
No, Role Player.
Role Player. So
Yes.
yes.
Another one that was just announced this week as well is the new Scooby-Doo game.
Oh yes.
Also
Now,
excited about that
I've been waiting for years for somebody to just redo Betrayal at House on the Hill as Scooby-Doo and make it, you know, a little
Basically
more
a
family friendly.
They reskin
but
it,
just
but
reskin it.
Yeah, that
Like,
could totally be done.
could totally be done. It just took somebody with
So,
some licensing.
yeah, because of the way the licensing works, it's probably hard because Fantasy Flight
Yeah.
didn't have that.
Warner Brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
But Robert
So-
Berger's doing the Scooby-Doo. So.
Yeah, so
No, the Op's doing Scooby-Doo.
the op is doing
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo.
so.
But I am a big fan of Jay Cormier and Sen's games, so I know it's going to be
You
great.
have faith in them.
I have faith that
I
they
don't
did a
understand.
great job.
Is it an escape room? What is the like
There's going
Chronicles
to-
Coded or whatever it's called?
There's
Do you
going to be
know what that
escape
is?
room things in the
In
game.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I'm okay with.
it sounds like there's a bit of a narrative aspect
Mhm.
to it, and the different characters like each have a booklet that they're going
Okay,
to
interesting.
have. So you may have different information based on which character you're playing, but also that it's I think a one-time hour-ish adventure.
Do we know if it's got an app associated with it or anything? I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to
I-
like have the countdown clock, have quotes from the movie,
Yeah.
show me cartoon,
Probably not.
transition.
Quotes
But,
from the movie.
Which movie?
There's
Well,
3
See,
or 4
I
hours in the
only
cartoon,
know
but
the
There's like hundreds of
cartoon.
movies.
yeah.
episodes.
So we have Time of Legends Destinies. Melissa and I did a preview video of that from Lucky Duck Games. That is a licensed game from Mythic Games that did the Joan of Arc series, so more of a narrative game. So Lucky Duck-
Competitive
competitive,
narrative.
but it's a two-player.
It has 3.
2 or 3-player game, so that's
Two
pretty
to
cool. Let's see, we have Explore It, Sands of Shirax. Jason said, Lewis said he was looking for Tyrants of the Underdark. So, yeah. Everyone's saying Zoinks, by the way.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, what's on your list? Number-
I have a top 10, and then I have an expansion section and some others. Some of those we already
This
talked
was
about.
after Kevin said have about 4 prepared. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just read through the bottom
There we
5
go.
of my top 10 and then get to number 5. All
There
right.
you go.
So number 10, Seize the Bean. I don't know anything about the game except for it has some mechanics that I really like, and it's about coffee.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. All right. Moonrakers should be out. I played a prototype. Did some
Pretty.
great stuff for the
Yeah.
deck building genre.
Yeah.
Honey Buzz did some interesting things with worker placement. Enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Roman Roll. I don't know anything about this one except for it's a roll and write, so I'll probably like it.
And a heavy one, I think.
Yes, a heavy roll and write, which moves it way up on my list.
It was on my list as well.
Okay. Tortuga, $21.99.
Oh yeah.
I don't like space and I don't like area control. I put those together and somehow I still liked the game. So they must have done something right with that one. But,
Against all odds.
yeah,
Sarah
make a
liked it.
game with those things and I still like it. You did a good job. All right, so my number 5 is Castles of Tuscany.
Oh yeah. The,
Castles of Burgundy
new-
is one of my favorite games, so I just hope they did something good with it.
Speaking of your favorite games.
So my top 10 will be out next month.
All right. You heard it here
She knew
first.
exactly what you were going to ask.
I know.
She was
The
ready.
keeper of the plans here.
Yeah.
Sarah's working on her top 10 list of all time.
Yep.
And Melissa's done it. I've done it. Sarah's going to do it. We might put a stretch goal to see if Ryan wants to do it next year. So,
A stretch
If
goal
people
to
are
what?
interested.
to his top
Yeah.
10 games of all time.
A stretch goal to our Kickstarter?
Yeah, you guys don't know. We're doing a Kickstarter campaign. Probably.
Probably. It will be March 31st.
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, we'll launch March 31st. You heard it here first. All right,
Fools.
moving on. Melissa.
One of the games I'm interested in is Alma Mater from Eggertspiel. It's by the same designers as Coimbra. And there's actually not a lot of information on PGG
There's like one
yet,
paragraph there.
but it says it has drafting, endgame bonuses, hand management, tile placement, and worker placement. And I basically like all of those things. I have liked
As well as
Coimbra.
Yeah.
There's a few other designers on there as well. In
Does the
addition,
illustrations look pretty.
it does look like it
Some-
fits
some
in the
similarities,
Coimbra world. It's more of the
Well,
oranges.
it's probably alma
tones.
mater. That's how you probably say it, since it looks like a college.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Is that not what I said?
that's okay.
Alma
That's
Mater.
okay.
Oh, I thought it was like some sort of play on the.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
maybe it was like, your original matter or something,
Yeah.
your primordial
Alma
ooze.
Mater.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, that will be coming from Eggertspiel. Hopefully there'll be more information soon. It might be coming around Gen Con time.
Will, you gonna join
Do you want
in?
to talk about one? Sure.
We'll let you talk, Will.
One of the ones that I'm excited about, just because I've liked pretty much every single one in the line, is the new Age of Artisans, the Architects of the West Kingdom, the next one that they're bringing out from Renegade Game Studio. Another worker placement with a bunch of cool stuff going on. They haven't put out a whole lot on it. Like if you go to Board Game Geek, there's only a couple pictures on that one as well. Maybe there's more. I just didn't click far enough. Nope, they all look the same. I've enjoyed that system. I mean, it's almost a system at this point. The iconography is so consistent across all boards, and Artisans just makes it seem like it fits even more in my preferred
Now, is that
genre.
actually an expansion?
to Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And then they've also got not Viscounts,
Viscounts.
but that word.
Viscounts.
Does the dude have purple hair or just that purple hat? I can't tell what's going on in that cover, but it looks interesting as well. So yeah, all kinds of neat stuff that is right where I've enjoyed playing this thing before.
I think Lewis is working on his top 10 list here. Settlers, Puerto Rico, Seven Wonders. Those are all good ones. You have to put some good ones on your list, Sarah. Anyway, I have already done my top 10 list for my most anticipated games. You can check that out on our YouTube channel, and it's called Top 10 Most Anticipated Games of 2020. Try to keep
Imagine that.
Try to keep it simple. But one of the ones that I'm most anticipated about is Takenu from Board and Dice. I really enjoyed Teotihuacan and Trismegistus with how they use the dice in those games. A little heavier of dice placement games, and really interested in how they're going to, same designers and things like that in this one, and how they use this like obelisk that has a shadow that is moving throughout the game, and where the dice are matters. So really excited to learn
So
more
is
about
that Egyptian?
Yes, an Egyptian themed one. Yes, thanks, Melissa. Back to Katie.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a cheat,
Okay.
but Wonderland's War.
What?
I know. It's a bit of a cheat because it's not actually going to fulfill until early 2021. But it's so close.
It's on Kickstarter right now.
It's on Kickstarter
So you were
right now.
anticipating the Kickstarter.
I'm anticipating, yeah. I'm anticipating the Kickstarter. They're still releasing new content of the things that are going to be in the game.
And he's still doing artwork, but I'm sure he'll be done soon.
I know. So, anyway, but Wonderland's War, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, you never know. They might fulfill early.
So you got to play this at Tantrum Con?
I did. I got to play it at Tantrum Con, and it was... I was so excited about the theme of the game. I really wanted to like the game itself, and I was so scared I was going to just like the theme and think the game was kind of... But I really enjoyed the game.
Cool.
I enjoyed building... It's got a bag building or chip building mechanic where you're placing things in a bag, pulling them out for different...
for the battles?
Yes, for the different battles, and it's sort of area control.
Oh, yeah.
With that.
It actually reminds me a little bit of Rising Sun.
Yes.
With how the battle sort of moving or the different because you want to be in lots of battles.
Yes.
So like you do in
Yes.
Rising Sun.
So yeah, kind of spread out, but you really have to kind of focus on one or two at a time.
They say that you're forgiven because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of people before we move on around. A lot of people are asking about our Tantrum House Kickstarter campaign because it is launching March 31st, and it'll be probably a 2.5 week campaign. People are asking us, can we tease any promos?
Let's do it.
Let's do one.
Of course.
What? We'll do one tonight.
You have to watch other videos for
right?
We're going to do one, and if you want to hear more teases on more promos, we will talk about those on our weekly podcast. Mm-hmm. So we will release more information about that on our weekly podcast, and you can listen to that.
Which is the Tantrum House board game?
The Tantrum House Board Gaming Podcast.
Board Gaming Podcast.
So the one I want to talk about tonight is we're going to have a cartographer's promo.
That was the one I was hoping you were going to
So if Tim's still watching. Tim's like, yeah, right? So I'm excited about the cartographer's promo, and thank you to Thunderworks for providing that. Really excited to include that in our campaign. Not only will we have promos, but we will have game bundles. We will have t-shirts.
T-shirts, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll have t-shirts, we'll have some game bags, we'll have some other things on there, some stretch goals, of course, and some add-ons, too, that we can't really spoil yet because nothing is really confirmed on some of the add-ons yet. But, all right, back to Ryan. Anticipated games.
Yeah, so one of my favorite board games of all time is Cosmic Encounter. It's got, like, some good tactility, and I like that it's a very simple game that becomes complex with the different powers of the alien races. Well, they're coming out with Cosmic Encounter Duel. So it's just a 2-player short game.
Which he might actually like more.
That's true.
Yes.
You and Katie can play it. Or you and Farron.
Or, yeah, right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be just under 30 minutes, real quick.
Well,
I don't understand all the mechanics that I read about, but I am interested to see what they do.
He complains that people gang up on him in Cosmic Encounters.
I am not a...
So there's no way to gang up on it if it's just a duel.
I'm not a diplomatic player.
No, but
so.
he's really a strong player, so everybody knows they have to try to attack him if they want to win.
Yeah, the social aspect of Cosmic Encounter kind of surprises me that you enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
I played it once, and I probably will never choose to play it again.
All right,
we used
Sarah.
to play that one all the time.
We did, yeah.
It was
Then
like
we started
good
playing more
times.
games.
And then, more games come in. Yeah. Let's see here. So number 4 on my list is Mariposas.
Oh.
Number 3 is one that I am very excited about, is Nouvelle France.
What? That's coming out this year.
So, yes.
Hopefully.
So
Yeah.
I assume it's coming out because they funded right at the end of the year last year. And I was super excited about this because it really, truly was crowdfunded. They needed the full
That's
amount
true.
to be able to make the game, and everybody shared it the last couple days, and they made enough money to be able to fund.
One of the things I find interesting about the Nouvelle France is we got the prototype and it was these beautiful wooden blocks. And we were talking to the company and they're like, yeah, it's impossible to do that. We're going to have to just do plastic for the production copy. We're like, is there any way they could do the wooden blocks? Because they're different colored blocks like stuck together in this like Tetris, like 3-dimensional way. And they're like, nah, it just won't be possible. Well, they like talked to a couple different manufacturers, and they got it to be wooden, and I think it just made the game so much better.
Yes, I agree. It was a beautiful game.
Yeah.
All the artwork and everything goes together very well. Love it.
That's from Jack Bro.
Yep. That was my number 3.
Oh, yes.
Another game that I am interested in learning more about playing is Dice Realms. This is
from Rio Grande.
Rio Grande, Tom Lehman. He did Race for the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And it is a dice crafting game. So
Finally,
you
somebody
actually
else is
change
making
the
one.
pips on the dice. We saw a sample early prototype at Gen Con, right? Kevin and I did. And so there were tons and tons of different pips that you could put on your dice, ones that get resources and money and all sorts of different things. So they were still refining the game at that point. So I'd be interested to see what actually came from it. And I like,
I like the
deck
dice
building, card
crafting.
crafting, dice crafting, that sort of thing. So and I've liked a lot of his other games, so I hope that it does really well. I hope that it's a good feel to it.
Been waiting for somebody to do
if
this.
you look
Pull
this,
it off.
if you look this one up on online, Dice Rounds from Rio Grande, I have to give major props to them for their cover. We've made fun of Rio Grande's covers in the past, and I will say,
let me see too.
they did a superb job in this. I hope the inside, the components are
very
just
nice.
as good too. I don't know, because the prototype, we just saw, like I said, a prototype copy of it, and excited about it. I think this is going to be very similar to Dominion meets Dice. Like, it's interesting.
Sounds good. Like
Sounds
the
very
concept.
good.
Yeah.
Will?
So one of the other ones that I'm excited about, I got a chance to see this. I haven't actually played it. Is the Everdell expansion Spire Crest? Just looks so pretty. Everything they put out is great looking. This new version has like you've got your normal meeples, and then they can like ride on top of other meeples. Have you guys seen that?
No.
This one looks like a tauntaun. I'm pretty sure it's
I was
like
gonna say,
an
is it
eagle
dinosaur?
with its head turn around. But like, you can ride on. I don't know. They've got like an elk and a bear and a fox and all these other things. I love the snowy art style, and they always do a great job with all their components. I'm assuming all of them can be played together. I don't know how big the table is going to get on this thing, but it's just a really pretty game, so I'm looking forward to actually playing it.
Well, I will go off from my actual top 10 list and go like side rail and talk about another game that is not on anybody's list probably. And I actually don't know if it's going to be released in 2020, so I might pull a Katie here.
Okay, it's not usually me that's cheating.
That's
It's
true.
usually Melissa.
It usually is Melissa. So I thought Come On was going to launch Ankh, Gods of Egypt, in January, but they didn't. They launched this other like Marvel United game that's super popular with people. I don't know. But I was talking to them, and the reason they pushed Ankh back was because they got the rights with Spin Master to be able to do it, so it just worked out time-wise to do that one first. Anyway, I don't really care too much about that one. I really am interested in Ankh because it is the last game in the trilogy of games from Eric Lang and Come On, with Blood Rage being first, then Rising Sun, and now Ankh.
Yep.
Rising Sun was my favorite game of 2018, so I've been really looking forward to.
Now, what's the theme on that one?
It's Gods of Egypt, so it's an Egyptian
okay.
theme. I
Okay.
guess I have 2 Egyptian themes.
Wow.
It'll be the year of Egypt.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say, is that the new theme
So,
for your
my guess
Egyptian
is
stuff?
since
and Egypt.
yeah, Marvel United is currently on Kickstarter, so I'm guessing that they won't even launch until probably April. I'm guessing.
So it's probably a
It's
2021.
probably a 2021 game, so I'll just stop
That'll
talking.
be a bigger game.
It's gonna be a huge game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Marvel United, the production doesn't seem like it would be too complicated if they have
Because they have the cheaties
sculpts and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have another one, Katie?
I do. I wanted to mention Sleeping Gods from Red Raven Games. It is a campaign co-op game, and Kevin and Melissa already have a video out, so you can check that out on our channel. Yes. And I love co-op games. I love any game that Ryan and I don't have to compete, and we can just be excited to play it together, because sometimes one of us rage quits every once in a while. If there's not a co-op.
So if you're familiar with Red Raven Games, they're really big into the narrative storytelling with going with Near and Far and Above and Below, and those were competitive games. This one is cooperative, and you are on this like steamship going to different islands, and you're trying to collect not runes. Relics. I forget the name, but it's something like a rune or a relic, and you have to collect like 8 of them throughout the campaign. But you don't. You can basically be like, we're gonna play an hour or two, and you can stop the game, and you can sort of put it away, save it, and you can come back the next night and just basically start from where you left off. So there's no like.
There's no rounds or like this is game 1, game 2. It's pretty open world that you can go through. And very, very narrative.
I think even more narrative than the other 2, Near and Far. But it's very similar in the map book, if you're familiar with Above and Below and Near and Far.
Well, Near and Far is the one who has the map.
Oh yeah, Above and Below doesn't have that one. So anyway.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one coming out.
Ryan, or do you want me to interrupt you before I go again?
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
If you want to go, it's fine.
Oh, Ryan Lockett makes gold. You can't grow wrong with Red Ribbon Games. All right.
There you go. One of the games that I've heard a little bit about, but I don't actually know anything about the gameplay, but we just really like the intellectual property, Cowboy Bebop Space Serenade.
That's on my list too.
Yeah.
You know, when I saw that come across my email, I almost just didn't look at it.
Yeah. Kevin's like, I don't know if we're interested in this, and Ryan goes, actually, we're very interested in this.
Okay.
Kevin's like, oh.
Like Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop is actually one of my most favorite anime series.
Okay, tell us in the comments. Am I just totally not with it?
It is
Tell me
one
right
of the
now.
all-time best animes ever.
It is recognized.
It's like a quirky film noir.
Yeah.
Alright.
And it's
Sci-fi.
very
People?
existential
No.
kind of. Anyway, it's but I it's one of my favorites, and I agree. I don't know a whole lot
Looks
about
like there's
it
some
at all.
miniatures.
So did you steal
pretty good.
Katie's
It's a deck building.
top 10?
Sure. Is it all yours?
I literally, this is what I said. Cowboy Bebop. I'm putting it down, and Ryan goes, "Oh, I'm putting it down too." So yes, he did steal it, but it is. I did read that it is going to be a deck building game where you are trying to collect bounties on the different bad guys that you encounter during the series. So I do like deck builders. So I have some high hopes for this game, and I believe we are planning for the future to do a review for it. So that's if it comes in the mail.
Well, it
We'll
sounds
see.
like my mom agrees with you.
Yes. See,
Oh, here
and
we
your
go.
mom
Here comes the comments. The comments are coming in. Here they come. Never been a Cowboy Bebop fan. Maybe I'm boring, like me.
Oh,
You and Eric
yeah.
can hang out.
Tim says Cowboy Bebop is the best. Cindy Johnson, Melissa's mom, says Cowboy Bebop, great anime.
Yeah.
So,
Because
anyway.
it's true.
And since we are talking to people online right
distracted.
now, and we're distracted, the Donlins just played the Halo Project.
Yeah.
Which better be everyone's most anticipated
Yeah,
getting all
it's
everyone's
20,
number
right?
one, right?
Right.
Let me write that down.
The Halo Project is the new Time Stories Revolution in the new series from Space Cowboys that Melissa and I were able to
Yes.
be a part of and design. So if you are interested in that, check that out. It should be in retail really soon. Thank you, Jeremy, for playing it, and thank you for your kind words.
We should actually play it together now that it's actually a published game.
That's
Like
fine.
we played
Just
it,
spoil it for
we
everyone.
played it as as a prototype when Kevin and Melissa were trying to make
Yeah.
sure everything
So
We
we
use the old
should proctor,
system.
and you all should play it.
Yeah.
We've-
Actually,
Y'all have
four-
already played it?
Yeah, so Will, Sarah, Ryan, Kate, that's a nice four-player.
Yeah, we should
I think
play
it plays best at 4.
Really?
Personally.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we should get together and play it sometime.
good. All right, moving on to Sarah's
All right,
number
my number 2
is.
Viscounts of the West Kingdom.
you
So
and Will.
Paladins was one of my favorite games of last year.
Okay.
So
Was it your favorite game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Multiple.
this one I am looking forward to seeing what kind of worker placement this becomes. So architects and paladins were very different for
Yeah.
me. I didn't enjoy architects as much. I thought there was more player interaction than I wanted there to be.
And not enough in Paladins?
And I was okay with the amount of paladins. There could have been a little more, but I was okay with the amount. So I'm interested to seeing what this one does. If it's going to be heavier, I'm okay with that.
So Aaron will play Hadal Project when he gets it back. Aaron,
Yes.
we signed it.
Your shirt has been ordered, and it will be printed soon.
Yeah, we're gonna print it, the shirt, put it on the package, and mail it back to you.
Yep,
So.
very cool.
All right, Melissa, you have anything else?
I'm interested in learning more about My City.
Oh, from
This
Cosmos?
is coming from Cosmos,
Mhm.
designed by Rainer Knizia. This is a competitive legacy city building game.
Awesome.
Oh,
So,
I do like city building
There are
games.
24 episodes, well, according to BGG, and you begin to develop your city pre-industrial stages, progressing through industrialization. You'll customize by adding elements to your personal board, adding cards to the game, and your choices will carry over into the next session. Now it does say if you don't want to play it as legacy, you can use the other side of the board. You'll have to unlock a few things from the legacy elements, but you can play it non-legacy.
That's really
also.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
People
I'm
have
very
strong
interested.
feelings about legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with Legacy, so
Well, do you want to take?
I'm hoping to play this one.
You want to take Jeremy's comment?
Oh, let me go back here.
Oh, I got it.
I was preparing for my next.
All right. So he's asking, will you all teach Viscounts at TantrumCon 2021?
Yes,
we
I will.
So while we're on that topic, thank you for the segue, Jeremy. We will be doing TantrumCon 2021, February 4th through the 7th, 2021, at the same place we had the last 2 conventions at the Spartanburg Marriott. We'd love for you to join us. Tickets are not on sale yet, but mark it in your calendars now, February 4th through the 7th. All right, Will.
So one of the other ones that I'm looking forward to this coming year is kind of harkening back to my roots. Ryan, have you seen the new King of Tokyo Dark Edition?
I heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
It looks pretty cool. So
Is
I
it
think
just color swapped?
no, it is
Dark theme?
Yeah, all brand new art,
Yeah,
deluxe components.
rescan.
There are new rules. It's
There are
got
some-
different mechanics in it.
Yeah.
The Energon cubes,
Uh-huh.
or whatever they're really called, I don't know because I've
They're
never called them
energy.
The
by
GGBs?
their real
Just
name.
energy.
Are actually shaped like lightning bolts now.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got some nice stuff going on. All the art looks really, really cool for it.
Is
This
it all dark?
Yeah, it's like dark with yellow.
It looks very like serious cartoon. I don't know how to really say that, but
Oh.
it looks like
the old
Like
one
graphic
was a
novel.
lot more.
Yeah,
It was a lot more fun and goofy.
This is like
yeah.
animated Batman series style.
Oh, so
Maybe
more
not
like
quite-
gritty.
Not flat, but yeah, darker, grittier. This is really cool. This is one of the first games that I like. As I was starting playing hobby games, which this one's even less strategic than a lot, but one of the first ones where I was like, this is so fun. I've never played with dice that are so big and like
Yeah.
blowing each other up. And so I think that one looks really cool. The art style for it looks great. If I find one somewhere, I would probably manage to pick that one up because it's kind of a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Chad says he knows of another Knizia game releasing this summer.
Tell us your secrets,
It's an older title releasing in the 1990s called Tutankhamun.
Oh.
You can keep an eye on the
heard.
BGG page as more will be revealed. So
Another
Heard
Egyptian
about this
theme.
one.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Egyptian themed one.
it's the year of the Egyptians.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, you heard it here first.
Call the predictions.
So another Egyptian theme is no. I'm kidding. That would have been funny, wouldn't
It
it?
would have been.
On my top 10 list, I had Stellar from Renegade Game Studios on my list. I think it was my number 9 game. that I was interested in. Renegade just mailed it to us. It's still sealed. I don't know why it's still sealed. Anyway, this is a 2-player only game. I like 2-player games, but whereas you guys probably play a lot more 2-player, Melissa and I don't play that many 2-player games. But she doesn't like me beating her. That's all right.
What? That's why we like the co-op
Right.
games.
That's fine. What really interested in this was I like the theme, stellar, with the space, looking up into space with the planets and the stars and things like that theme. But I also was grabbed by the designers, Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback.
Oh, yeah.
So really interested in trying Stellar out. It's a strategic 2-player game. You're stargazers calibrating your telescopes to bring into view celestial objects of various types. So looking forward to playing Stellar if I can steal it from Will and Sarah, because it's at their house right now.
I have a feeling it won't be at my
House
house.
in an hour when Kevin goes home.
Nobody notices that, Kevin. All right, this is the last one I have to talk about because I already talked about Cowboy Bebop with Ryan. Is Project L.
Oh, yeah.
It was successfully kickstarted and should be coming out in stores.
What's
this
the
year.
L stand for?
The shape of
It's
the...
the shape of
Loser, I don't know. But this uses the like Polyomino's style stuff to make patterns and just trying to fit things together. I just love that. I liked number 9 for that reason, trying to figure out how things fit together well. So I am really looking forward to Project L.
Yeah, we did a
available.
preview video of this.
Yes.
And it is a really, really fun game. It's for what it is, I think it packs a big punch for how small
Right,
of a
for what
game
it looks like
what it
at a
is.
first glance. Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
just, there's this like engine building to it because you are getting more and more of the polyomino pieces in front of you. So.
Yeah, you get to carry over the ones from
And
your cards. To
And
the
you're
next
getting
one.
more based on what cards you complete, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
There's something so relaxing about just trying to fit things together. I don't know. I also really liked Legos as a kid, so maybe that has something to do with it. Just a really tactile, trying to get things to fit together. So.
Jeremy is looking forward to Kanban EV. We actually talked about that on a podcast episode.
Mhm.
Yep.
With Tina. Ryan,
Yes, that is my name.
do you have any left?
I do. It
This
is
is your
not
last one?
strictly. Yeah. This
Mine's
is my
not
last
in
one.
order.
This isn't strictly a
This
board game.
This is your number 1 game
This
right here.
This is a tabletop miniatures game.
Oh,
BattleTech Clan Invasion
oh.
is supposed to deliver this year.
My
I
question
didn't.
is- I was gonna say you didn't back it though.
I didn't back it.
Oh.
I
I
struggled.
really wanted
Every
to. though.
morning, I talked myself into like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend several $100s on this Kickstarter, and
Because
then
he
by
wanted
the
to back
afternoon-
it at the top level.
Yeah.
And then
Not
he
at the
thought
absolute
about his
top.
family and his child.
I wanted the drop
And then he
ship.
thought diapers. Diapers
The-
are important.
the
You should have diapers.
The Kickstarter
decision.
exclusive dropship was very appealing to me, but every afternoon I talk myself out of it. However, I am interested to see how it actually turns out with the fulfillment of it. So that is my number 1, BattleTech.
Kenneth is looking forward to Dice Throne Adventures. I think, Kenneth, you also mentioned earlier the expansion to Underwater Cities, which I think Annie might have seen, or you guys saw the expansion at Tantrum Con 2020 when it was delivered to me. So, sorry to make you jealous. We're actually going to play it this weekend, hopefully. So
Yeah, that doesn't
At your
sound like you're
faux
actually sorry,
snow
Kevin.
con.
Yes, Faux Snow Con happening this weekend.
So
You know,
it actually
almost snowed
snowed.
today.
It actually didn't snow at our house.
No,
but
it
they-
snowed all day at my house, like
Yeah.
15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they still canceled school.
Tim
so
says
faux SnowCon is
Diapers Legacy.
Diapers legacy. Nobody wants to
No
play
one wants that,
anything
Tim.
that diapers
is
carry
always a
through.
legacy.
Throw it away.
I'm just gonna have gone with cloth diapers, Jeremy says. This topic is just gone.
That's fast.
All right,
Cloth diaper.
Sarah, let's bring it back up to board games here.
Number 1 is Calico for me.
Ooh.
Knew it.
So this one is just a tile laying game.
has one of the simplest rule sets in a game that I've seen recently, and yet it is a brain burner.
This is from Flat Out Games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this, the team that came up with this one has done several other games, but this is the first one that Flat Out has published.
So Flat Out, interesting tidbit, since I'm helping
yeah.
help with that. Flat Out just designed a game called Public Market that Talent Strike Studios is publishing, and they're going to Kickstarter it next week.
Yes.
Tuesday.
So, next Tuesday, called Public Market. You can check that out, and the video is coming out next week from us as well.
Someone's
about
also
Fishing and tile.
Nautical.
Lots of tile.
In Egypt.
Yeah. So
No.
Is that, I was like, what? I don't remember that at all from how we talked about it.
No, it's the Pacific
No.
Northwest.
Okay, yeah.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And Jason's from Talent Strike's watching right now. Yes, I really enjoyed playing Public Market, so
Yeah.
looking forward to
No Egyptian theme.
All right, Melissa, what do you got next?
Well,
Which one?
since you talked about one that was on Kickstarter, I'll bring up one that hopefully is going to be fulfilling sometime this year, and that is Dwellings of
what?
Elder
What's
Vale.
my next one?
Oh! Are we guys want to do it together?
Y'all can just talk about it at the same
I mean, I have
time.
plenty
It's
more.
okay.
Yeah,
you
you
better
can
get
go
that
for
one
it.
to Will. Melissa's
Okay,
got
I'll
one.
let
Keep going, you were
Will
doing
talk
great.
about Dwellings of Elder Vale.
All right, well, go.
We got a chance to play it probably like 9 or 10 months ago, and it was
yeah,
sharp
Peter came
at the
to our
time.
house, which was cool.
Yeah, and it had some interesting pieces that I've never seen in any other games, where like there's the base where you can stick the guy on and it makes noise as you move him around. It seemed kind of prototypey at the time, but I'm really curious to see, like, did it streamline? Is it exactly the same? Is it different? Does it incorporate differently? Really cool gameplay. You've got different. Oh, I don't have the shirt on. I had the shirt on yesterday.
You did have the shirt.
You
You did have the shirt on
different
yesterday.
different meeples that each have different abilities based on what the meeple is. So it could just be like a warrior, or it could be like a wizard with superpowers. So it was a really cool game. You can keep talking more because I think you had the in-depth story going on.
Yeah, and an interesting thing about those different classes or types of meeples is each player is a different faction or race, and my wizard will do something different than Will's wizard, and so even the player powers with the different types of meeples you have is different. I really enjoyed it. I think the bases you were talking about were an add-on or maybe a Kickstarter exclusive. They were a higher pledge level, so yeah, it looks like a battle war game something, but it's not.
Ferocious dragon on the front.
Like a
Area
Euro
control strategy. Yeah.
kind of worker placement-esque,
Yeah,
engine builder.
Yeah, upgrading the stuff that you already have out on the board. Very Euro.
I really
Fun
liked
one.
it.
Are we skipping to me?
Go for it.
Sure.
All right. Game that we haven't talked about yet, coming from Floodgate Games, if I can put it the right way. This is a prototype copy of Holy, coming to Kickstarter, and I believe will also be published in 2020. And this is a three-tiered dimensional area control game where you're actually taking your person and moving up levels, and think like Star Trek chess, but nothing like
Three
that.
levels of boards.
Yeah, 3 levels, and you can see through them, so they're plexiglass, so that's really cool. And you are basically throwing powdered color at your opponents and on the board, and you're getting points based on how high you can get up, and very area control mechanic. So probably not a Sarah game, but
I'll still play area.
That's
control.
right.
No, well, it
Depends.
has that pattern aspect to it because you have cards in your hand
That's
and you
true.
have to place your powder in the pattern that your card
Yeah.
shows. So it does have
Yeah.
not quite
Spatial.
tiling,
I'm good
but
at spatial games,
Yeah.
so I will probably enjoy this one. Games where you're just fighting each other on a map, not so much.
So that is wholly coming from Floodgate Games soon. We had the designer at Tantrum Con, plugging that again. So great. Anybody else have any final ones? Sarah,
I
you
have like
Sarah's-
8 more.
I was gonna say,
I have a list here.
I think this
But the
is where
people-
I'll say these two.
you guys, do you want them to keep talking, or should we just,
I have a
I'll
few
keep talking.
expansions.
Yeah, I have an expansions list here.
people were asking if it's going to top Bosk,
Yeah, I saw that.
and then they saw the Holy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got some expansions?
I have some expansions. Endeavor, Age of Expansion.
Oh,
Endeavor is one of my favorite games of all time, so
is it up there?
It is
Can you
on
see
the
it?
shelf.
Switching
I'll go
camera.
get it.
We'll watch Kevin pick it up.
Excited about the expansion for that.
Since they're a sponsor, right?
That's right.
Oh, we should-
Can you see that?
Love pretty much everything about Endeavor. So I can't wait to see what the expansion does and adds more stuff to the game. And the artwork is, of course, gorgeous. So, other expansions on my list: expansion for Fleet Dice, expansion for Gugong. What else do you got, Melissa?
People want you to keep going.
Keep
so,
going. Okay,
yes.
of course they
Keep
do.
it
So,
rolling.
one of Kevin and my favorite games of 2019 is getting an expansion.
What?
That
I didn't
is
know.
Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth is getting Shadowed Paths.
Ooh, so that's like an additional
Yes,
thing that
it's
you
a
can
whole
play through.
Oh.
additional campaign
Yeah.
calling you east of the Misty Mountains. This expansion unlocks an all-new campaign with 13 scenarios that take you from the tangled paths of Mirkwood deep into the shadowed halls of abandoned Moria.
Oh my, that sounds creepy.
Scary.
Like, I am super excited with him. Now, we did the whole first campaign. We're in the second campaign, The Hunt for the Ember Crown, right now. And I'm really actually enjoying the second campaign even more than the first campaign.
Really?
And this one, the third campaign sounds Even
There's
better.
going to be 5 new heroes. One of them is Gandalf.
Hopefully the team will let me play
Oh.
Gandalf.
And then Arwen
Wow.
is going to be
Nice.
one of them.
Yeah.
25 new enemy miniatures, 20 journey map tiles, new terrain items tiles. This is almost as big as the base game.
yeah.
So it is going to be an expensive expansion, almost as much as the base game.
People are asking if if War Chest is going to get an expansion. Not that I played it. So,
You played with the tokens.
yeah, I had to play with the tokens for another game we were playing, so I touched the tokens of War Chest.
I literally just typed that.
But Kevin has still not played it.
War Chest did come out with one expansion already, so
Right, no go.
how many more will fit in that box?
I know.
Now that I think about it,
Probably a couple more.
one or two more.
Yeah, another game that's getting an expansion
Go
is
for it, Melissa.
Era Medieval Age.
Oh,
So it's going to have a new expansion. It's going to have roads and rivers. I think there are actually even little bridge pieces
Oh
that
my.
you put onto the
oh
board.
yeah, I saw
Um,
pictures of
It
this.
says there's going to be new structures, new disasters.
Oh wow,
Um,
just something else for Sarah to burn down.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And it says it's going to have 4 scenarios to give players an opportunity to become familiar with the new gameplay mechanism. So it sounds like if you want kind of
You
the
can add.
slow
Yeah, one at
adding
a
in of the
time.
new things, you can do that.
Okay. Another
Go
expansion
for it.
I am super excited about is the new Parks expansion.
Is this still on Kickstarter or is it done?
It is still on Kickstarter.
You can go right now and back
Go
it.
right now and back it.
Actually,
back it.
I recommend the Memories game because I
Well,
enjoyed that.
that's also here. I have Parks and Memories.
I'm not good with memory. My memory
But the
is
team
not
play,
so good.
team
Yes.
play was good.
Team play was good. I was very impressed with how they took Memory, the kids game, and made it into a gamer's game that it made you think. And it wasn't like, it was a fun way of playing Memory. Like, they added some fun components, and you can add in as much of the components as you'd like to make it easier or harder. So, super enjoyed that one.
They paused Desolation of Smog just to watch us.
Aw.
So yeah, that's Lord of the Rings.
Keep talking more about the
Yes.
rigs. There.
Yeah, we'll just keep talking about. So you know what happens at the no. I would like to. Oh
Did you want to mention Crusaders?
yes.
Divine Influence?
So Crusaders from TC Bistro Games.
Yeah, Team G.
Yeah, has is one of my favorite games of the last couple years.
Whenever it came out, 2018.
I think it was 2018. I didn't actually get to
Yeah.
play it, I don't think, until 2019. But anyway, I really, really enjoy it with the influence cubes and how it has this rondelle mechanic. And that to me, like,
Like Mancala-esque.
yes,
kind of,
I
yeah.
really, and how you're taking the different actions or powers during the game. The divine influence is making that even, like, more powerful or better or different. So I'm excited to see what Seth, the designer of the game, brings with the expansion. So that is definitely on my list of things to play.
Okay. A couple others I'd like to mention.
Just a few more.
There has been a
we
little
need to
bit
close
of
this out.
talk about Pandemic Season 3. We don't know
Yes.
if there's just rumors and rumblings
Yeah,
about
rumors
that
and
one.
rumblings, yeah.
I did see a new Wonder Woman game.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of what DC is doing movie-wise, but
Mm-hmm.
board games have...
See, I like the Wonder Woman movie of the
I
DC
was-
ones.
I was
like
the
that
Wonder
one.
Woman. Wonder
movie
Woman.
is good, yeah.
But I think I trust board game designers more than I do movie makers. So the board game is probably going to be great. Hoping it is.
Yeah.
And then last one on my list is I played a prototype of this and was very impressed. One of the best prototypes I played this last year
What?
was Fossilis.
Not just because there are
The
sponsors.
prototypes was so cool. Like it was 3D printed, so I'm interested to see
how it comes out.
how the
How the real final.
how the
Publisher.
final comes out.
So it's
Because
this
it was a board that has holes in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you put pieces
that's right.
inside,
Mhm.
and you shake it up so you don't know where the pieces are hidden, and then you flip it so that you place tiles on top, and then you're digging in the tiles trying to find pieces that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So interested to see
I'll say,
how
I saw
that
y'all
comes
playing
together
that.
in the final product.
Yeah.
Because it was cool, it was 3D printed, but interested to see how that turns out.
Cool. As we close up here, unless somebody's got
Also, almost kind of an Egyptian.
It-
I guess Fossilis isn't really Egyptian,
No,
but
that's all right.
yeah,
a couple
archaeology.
things. Aaron loves that Jonah is on the podcast. He's done a couple of the videos too. So yeah, you'll see more Jonah on that.
Jonah's
And-
natural.
Chantel too. She was out of town.
Yeah.
We'll pull her in for the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and listen to the podcast. For our sponsor, would like to mention one of their games that's going to be Kickstarter called Into Deep. This is going to be on Kickstarter probably in the next few months or so. It is a criminal syndicate game and in the future, so like a futuristic theme. And
Got some cool Quantai Moria art.
yeah,
on it.
it's got some
Ooh.
really cool
I like
art.
Funchai stuff.
So some of the mechanics are hand management, set collection, and pick up and deliver. So man, go online and look at the Into Deep art for this. The purples and blues, yeah, like you said, Quantum Moria.
And that's
Slick.
Burnt Island Games
Thank
is
you.
the company.
So
Pretty cool.
thank you again, Burnt Island, for sponsoring our Tantrum Talks this year. Thank you for watching. You who are still holding on. We have some people. I think Kenneth and Andy
Sure.
want to get back to watching Desolation and
say,
Smog.
Go
So
for
we're
it.
gonna let you do that. And we will be doing lots more videos coming up, of course, every day. And I know we mentioned Sarah's Top 10. Will's working on
Party games. Top
his
10 party games.
Top 10 party games.
Ooh.
So, yes, lots of things coming. Once again, thank you for joining us. And make sure that you catch all our stuff coming out shortly.
Happy gaming.
Happy
Bye.
gaming. Bye.